Hey, there's Adam Carlson here with Undead Walking, and I am with Katelyn Nacon. She plays Enid on The Walking Dead, and we are here at Walker Stalker Chicago. Walking Dead fans everywhere.
Yes, it's crazy.
How much are you loving the attention?
Oh, I'm pretty introverted, so a lot of the attention is just really weird on me. So I'm still getting used to it. It feels like I've only been on the show for like a week, so I'm still getting used to it somehow.
Well, when you first started up, people didn't know what to think about you.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people wondering what was going on with the character, if the character would be around for a while.
Yeah.
And it turns out that you seem to be here for the long haul, at least for now.
No, I'm hoping.
So I'm really glad to see you getting a lot more exposure. But speaking of exposure, I follow you on Twitter, and we've talked a couple times about this. Too many cooks.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that watched it obsessively, like hundreds of times, and I probably had way too much to do with that, but it's so much fun.
It was a lot of fun to film it. The funny thing is that I filmed that before, like a year before I got on The Walking Dead, and I remember I was filming The Walking Dead and I couldn't tell anyone, but my friends at school, they knew that I was working on something, they just didn't know what. And so Too Many Cooks came out like a week or two after I started working for Walking Dead, and my friend texted me, she was like, "Is this the thing you're working on? The Too Many Cooks?" And I was on set and I was like, no, it's something else.
Because I don't want to ruin Too Many Cooks for people that haven't seen it, but by now they should.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy. It's got some interesting twists, and it's a lot of fun. A lot like The Walking Dead in some ways.
Yeah.
It starts off, with a lot of hope, and things take weird twists, which is a lot of fun.
It just keeps going and going.
Okay, so with The Walking Dead, of course, the horror show.
Yes.
Are you a big fan of horror?
I just started getting into it, honestly, because here's what happened, is I was younger, I don't know how old I was exactly, but I was young enough to get scared easily if I watched something scary, and so I watched this documentary on the History Channel of exorcism, and that scared the crap out of me. I had nightmares for like a month or so. It was so scary, and so I could not watch any scary movies after that.
Sometimes it's the real things that are the scariest.
Yeah.
Zombies, you know that they're not quite real, and you can watch it and enjoy it for what they are. But then when you watch a documentary, it just...
I know, it was a documentary on History Channel. That's why I think it really screwed me out. But now I love this stuff. I just watched Conjuring 2, or part of it. I watched the first half on the plane ride down here, so it was fun.
Alright, so Enid, of course, as we talked about, she's come a long way. What do you think was the pivotal scene in getting Enid to be more of a part of the show? I mean, before she was kind of an outcast, she went out and she did her own thing.
I honestly think it was all the stuff with Glenn, because one of the main reasons she was kind of distanced from the cast and everything was because of her own personal feelings of like, I have to push people away, I can't let anyone in. But Glenn was the one who actually changed that point of view, and he's the one that made her want to start helping people and taking care of people, and that includes Maggie, of course. So I think that dynamic is what kind of helped pull her into the show more.
So why do you think Glenn wanted to take her under his wing?
I think Glenn was a very caring person, and you always see him trying to find good in people and trying to help people in some way. And I think he saw that Enid was broken and he wanted to try to help her, and Enid also was like his only way back to Alexandria. Like, she knew it's not that, it was also he knew the way back. It was just Maggie was the reason that he went back for her, because he was like, I can't, like, Maggie would hate if I did this and all that, but he was just a genuinely good person, and I think he honestly, people had helped him out in his life, and I think he wanted to pass that on as well.
Speaking of Maggie, I think there are a lot of comparisons that can be drawn between Enid and Maggie. Maggie had that same experience Enid did. She had to watch her whole family die on the farm.
Yeah.
And she felt really alone and angry afterwards.
Yeah.
And that whole transition came through really well. So it's really interesting to see now that Maggie and Enid are kind of partnering up a bit.
Yeah, it's great. And like, Maggie has started to inspire her as well to start kind of taking on responsibilities within the community. I mean, she rounded up all of those people, and she's deciding to start fighting for what she thinks is right. And I think a lot of that is due to Maggie, for sure.
Now, I don't know how much you listen to some of the fans, but there have been some crazy theories about Enid over the years.
Everyone has theories about Enid.
I mean, she's a wolf. She's one of the saviors.
Yeah.
She works with the Whispers, who haven't even been introduced yet.
I know. Everyone thinks she's a spy, no matter what.
One of the most interesting one was the poison pickles. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I did. Everyone just thought that she was gonna, that she just wanted to kill Maggie, which is obviously like not the case.
They were finding any reason they could to try to figure out what was going on there.
Yeah. Well, it's because, I mean, that's one thing I love about Enid is she's so mysterious. There's a lot going on inside of her head that they don't show on the show or on camera. So it really adds a lot of mystery to her, and I think people are just trying to figure that out. Like, why does she act differently from all these people and so on?
Well, there is one thing The Walking Dead never showed about your character that I don't think people will ever find out. That's how you got out of the closet.
I know! I wanted it to be something like really bad, like just really cool and hardcore, but they didn't show it.
Did you find something in there to break it out, or did someone finally let her out? Come on, it's like the scenes when you had Rick in the RV, and he's fighting and fighting, all these walkers are on, the next scene he's running down the street. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, I know.
What happened there?
It's hard, but...
let's talk about your music career for a second.
Yeah.
I've been listening to some of your music off and on before this interview. I went and listened to a couple more. I really appreciate, not that singing is difficult, because I can't sing worth a lick, but the fact that you play so many instruments as well is amazing.
Thank you. Well, it kind of started out with piano, because I wanted to like play my own music and learn how to write music, but in order to do that, I kind of needed an instrument to help me figure out the melody and stuff to go with it. So I kind of learned piano first, just for accompaniment, and then my piano teacher, she also knew how to play ukulele, and I was like, oh, that'd be really cool to learn, and so I picked that up as well, and it's really been helping just with me. It's even been helping with my singing.
Yeah, a lot of your songs are on iTunes available. You can download them.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I really loved, the EP is titled Lovin' Me, and I wrote down the name of one of your songs that I really liked. A Little Bit Closer. That's the one I really like.
Just a little bit closer. Yeah.
It's got that great piano feel to it. I'm a piano guy. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the off-the-set stuff.
Right.
Now, we talked that you're getting into horror a little bit, but do you have watching parties for your own episodes sometimes?
Sometimes if it's like a premiere or something, I'll have like a few friends over. Like when I first got on the show, like my very first episode, we had all of the family and family friends and my friends, everyone just coming over. And then we all surprised them because we couldn't tell any of them that I was on the show. So that night, like right before the show, we surprised them, and they were like, told them that I was on the show, and it was really fun. And so we've done a few little things. Now it's just like having a few of my friends over if they want to see it or something like that.
So you still watch the episodes when they air then?
Yeah, usually. Sometimes I procrastinate all my homework to Sunday night, and so I'm like, I have to do all of this.
Now, school is a major thing for you, and of course you posted recently on Twitter that you've been narrowing down your choices. You got accepted to some pretty good schools, and you got accepted to the same one Chandler Riggs did, which is pretty fun. Have you decided on a college yet, or have you decided what you're going to study?
I know what I'm going to study. I'm going to major in business and maybe minor in psychology. It just depends on what kind of fits within my schedule. But I'm not really sure about a school yet. I have to figure out all of the details to see if it, coincides with working and everything like that. Because I would like to be able to do both without completely stressing myself out.
So if you stay on the show a little bit longer, you might be one of those people that gets, the big treatment, the billboards, the action figures, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, I would love an action figure. Like those little pop figures, I love them so much. I think they're adorable, and if I had one, I would probably just start crying. They're so cute.
those McFarlane action figures, they're so detailed and
I know.
fantastic. And they've issued like 8 different Ricks. Where's Enid? You know, where are these other characters?
Come on, guys,
Bring them on.
give me a chance. Give Enid a chance.
Another thing about you that I think that you'd appreciate my little blood giving stickers
Yeah.
is that you have worked real hard with a lot of charities, especially blood drives, to help do that and bring awareness to causes. And that's something really near and dear to you. What are some other causes that you've worked hard for in the past?
My mom actually brought me into this. There's this place, there's this like program in Atlanta called Destiny's Daughters of Promise, and it pretty much just teaches young girls how to become confident, strong, independent, working women, and it's really good. It's really good to talk to them and try to give them some advice if they're confused about stuff, and just try to help them out in whatever way I can, at least.
Do you have any other projects that you'd like to talk about before we...
I just finished season 2 of a show called Tagged, which is on Verizon 90, and that's really exciting.
I hadn't heard of it until I checked out your IMDb, but now I'm really interested in watching it.
It's actually really cool. It's like these 3 girls get tagged in a video of someone being killed, being murdered, and so they start getting harassed physically and mentally and over the web and everything, and it talks about the dark side of the internet, and it's pretty intense.
Should be really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with Undead Walking.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you, and thanks again. Good luck on the show. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.